There is one big problem with many inverter chargers on the market today. They don't have a plug-and-play solution. Today, we're going to be working with this Fox Power inverter that only has clamps for some wires, and I'm going to show you step by step how easy it is to put some cords on this inverter, so that way we can plug it into the wall and plug our equipment that we want to power into this inverter. What equipment will you need? Well, I have my inverter and I have a simple 25-foot extension cord. Now this one is the 3-prong variety, and that is very important. You want to make absolute certain that you have a ground wire. Now extension cords come in various different gauges, and this one is a 12-gauge wire, and that is designed to handle enough amperage for this inverter charger. Let's go over the couple of tools we'll need. This one's pretty simple. We have a couple of screwdrivers, a razor knife, and a set of wire strippers. So step one is to remove the cover plate that houses all of the electrical connections. So this is a simple extension cord like everybody knows. We have our part that plugs into the wall here, and this is the part that you plug your equipment into. So in this case, this is going to be our power input because we're getting power into the cord from the wall, and this is the output because this is what we're outputting the power to, essentially our load or piece of equipment. So I'm actually going to take this cord and separate it roughly in half, and I'm actually going to just cut right through it. Now make sure this cord is not plugged into anything. You would definitely not want this to be live while you're cutting it. Now with this cut, I'm going to use my utility knife and strip back around 3 inches. Now be careful because knives are sharp and you definitely don't want to puncture too deep. I've made a small score, and now I'm going to bend the wire and slowly cut through a little bit until I can see the wires within. You don't have to push that hard. Simply touching with a sharp blade can cause a nick that will tear open and cut through the whole insulation piece. And then once you're all the way around, you're going to pull this off just like that. And this is going to expose 3 wires on the inside. We have a green wire, and that's our ground, a white wire, which is our neutral, and a black wire, which is our live. We're going to follow the same process on the other cord, being especially careful not to nick any of the wires inside. Now we have our cord ready to go, and we can pass it through this plate so that it can safely enter into the inverter. With that being said, we're going to pass the male plug through the input port of this plate and the output with the female plug through the output port. Now we don't want to tighten down these screws quite yet because we're going to want to get things into the inverter first. So now we're going to use our wire strippers, and since this is a 12-gauge wire, we're going to use the notch mark 12. Simply place the wire in and cut some of that insulation off, just like that. And if this wire is starting to get a little bit frizzled, you can twist it and make it nice and easy to go into the terminals. Repeat this process for all the other wires. So on this cover plate, we're going to make sure we follow the AC input cord that had the male plug on the other end, and we're going to place the green wire on the ground terminal here, and then the black wire on the L terminal, and this is still on the input side. And then last but not least, we're going to put the white wire on the N terminal of the input. Once we're done getting those wires on the AC input side, we can move over to the AC output side, and that's going to be the cord that has the female end on it. Connections are just like before: green to the ground terminal, white to the N terminal, and black to the L terminal. And with the clamp still loose, we could just slide it into place like this and install the 4 screws to secure that in place. A slight issue here I have is that some of the wires are showing in the clamp area. That is absolutely unacceptable. So the best solution is just to push this wire in a little bit and then tighten down these clamps. For good practice, double check your work. You're going to want to make sure, again, the male plug that goes into the wall is on the input terminal, and the female plug that you plug your equipment that you want to power into is on the output terminal. With that being said, you're ready to connect up to your battery. Now, if you're unsure of how to do that, check out our other tutorials. We'll put links in the description. An output with an N for live and an L for neutral. Wow. Let's do that again. You're watching Current Connected. Check out our website at www.currentconnected.com.